Привіт, I'm Chuck Olenek. I'm a Ukrainian-American, baptized with the name Yaroslav. That's also the name I happen to use in the historical reenactment group, the Society for Creative Anachronism, where members will create a persona in order to further explore the medieval period. And I focused on Eastern Europe because I was brought up in a Ukrainian household and grew up speaking the language, at least somewhat. I've kind of lost that over time. But what I'm doing now with my YouTube channel is I am trying to popularize Eastern Europe by telling the mythology and the folklore and part of the history in order to help people within the society maybe consider developing an Eastern European persona. So today's selection is a tale called Kyrilo the Tanner. In royal Kyiv town of long ago, there once ruled a prince so good and kind that his people called him little brother to the sun. His daughter was fair Helena and was of such beauty that you could not find such beauty outside of a Skazka or indeed a Belina. But sorrow gripped royal Kyiv town, for one night a dreadful dragon with a twisted tail appeared before the city gate and carried off a young maiden, feasting upon her. Time and again the dragon returned, always carrying off the maidens for his supper. The people of Kyiv feared to go out of doors lest they attract the attention of the dragon. At last the prince spoke with his council, and it was arranged that lots would be cast each day. The house upon which fell the lot was to send a maiden to appease the dragon. It was a dark day when the lot fell upon the palace of the little brother of the sun. Fair Helena was to surrender herself to the dragon, as her father and his council had agreed. Her father said, "I cannot. I will not let you go. I shall don my armor, and I will go face this worm myself and do battle with him." But Helena was not only fair, but wise too, and knew her father, however determined, would fail. "No," she said, "you cannot be spared from your duty as prince to our people. I will go." So she bid her father farewell, with his blessings upon her, and walked through the weeping crowds to the gates of royal Kyiv town. There lay the monster, smoke drifting up from his nostrils, ready to pounce upon her. The dragon took her away to his deep, dark cavern under the rocks. But when he looked upon her, his eyes were dazzled by her beauty. "Thou art too fair to be eaten as a meal," he said. "I shall keep thee here so that I may gaze upon your face." The dragon was kind to her, giving her food and drink. Then he gave her a nice clean bed of straw to rest upon, but she couldn't sleep that night. In the morning, the dragon awakened. "I hunger," he told fair Helena. "I must seek food. Tell me, what shall I bring you?" But fair Helena said, "I'm content. I wish for nothing." The dragon offered, "I will bring thee jewels. I will bring thee fair garments to adorn thee." So saying, he left the cave, but carefully rolled 2 large rocks before the entrance to prevent anyone from entering his cave, and more importantly, to prevent fair Helena from escaping. In time, Helena heard scraping and scratching at the entrance. It turned out to be her little dog who had followed her all the way from royal Kyiv town, and he'd managed to worm his way in between the rocks. Fair Helena realized her opportunity and found a piece of birch bark and scribbled a note to her father telling her where she was hidden, and tied this note to the little dog and bade it return home. And in time, the little dog made it back to royal Kyiv town and was brought to the prince, and the prince was filled with joy when he read the note. Quickly he wrote a reply that help would be on the way, and tied this note to the little dog, who must have been tired at this point, and sent the little dog back. Princess Helena read the note, but then heard the dragon returning and shoving aside the large rocks, so she hid the note and the little dog. When the dragon entered the cave, fair Helena asked, "What kept you away so long? You look sad." The dragon answered, "I am troubled. Give me food and drink, and then I shall tell you why." When Helena had done as she was bidden, the dragon said, "This day have I heard sad news. In the city of Kyiv, from whence I took thee, there dwells a tanner, one Kyrilo by name. He's a mighty warrior, mightier than I. If it should happen that I rouse his anger, I should not be able to withstand his might." Secretly, this pleased the princess, but she hid this as she sang her captor to sleep with sweet music. Then, as the dragon snored, she wrote a reply to her father's note. "The dragon fears a tanner named Kyrilo. I only know that he dwells somewhere within the walls of our Kyiv town, and that he, and only he, can prevail against this beast." The note was then tied to the tired little dog, who was sent forth again to deliver this latest word. In Kyiv town, the prince was readying what forces he could, fearing there might not be enough to rescue fair Helena, when the dog appeared at the city gates and was brought to him. He read the note and almost jumped for joy. Then he sent his heralds round the city, calling the name of Kyrilo the tanner. When Kyrilo heard, he left the hides he was tanning and hurried away to the palace. "I bid you go forth to this dragon's lair and fight this beast who holds my daughter," said the prince. "With the help of God, you will defeat him and free my daughter." But Kyrilo was a simple man, simple both in life and in mind. He did not know how strong he was, and he did not wish to fight. He scratched his head and stroked his beard. "No, no. Who will tan my hides while I am away?" The prince was seized with fury. "I command you, in the name of all the fair maidens of royal Kyiv town, you alone must face this dragon, for he fears you." Kyrilo remained reluctant, but a group of young maidens came and bowed low before him, wringing their hands and begging him to go, and at last he left his hides and went. Outside the cave, he tore up a tree stump for a weapon and called out, "You skulker in the dark, come out!" When the dragon heard Kyrilo's voice, he grew pale with fear. He slowly showed his head at the cave's mouth, but as soon as he did so, the tanner swung the tree stump and dealt him a heavy blow. Have mercy upon me," wailed the dragon. "Where was your mercy when you took the young maidens from Kyiv town?" cried Kyrilo, and with that he smote the dragon again, and the dragon now fought back. 3 times 3 went the tanner and the dragon round the field. In the end, Kyrilo the simple tanner slew the mighty beast. In Kyiv town, all the bells rang out merrily, and young maidens came forth decked out with gay garlands to greet their princess upon her return, and to the tanner who knew not his own strength and who slew the dragon. "Brave Father Kyrilo," cried the prince, "what reward is fitting for the rescuer of my daughter and the avenger of the fair maidens?" But Kyrilo remained a simple man. He waved off any reward and returned to tanning his hides. The princess returned to the palace, and the dragon's body was cast into the sea, where it remains today. It was at the feast I heard this tale. There it was, I drank mead ale. Though it flowed down my beard, my mouth stayed dry, for never a drop passed my lips, swear I.